Hey everybody, Jesse with Jaguar Sharks. So back again after our announcement that Jaguar Sharks will be coming to an end at the end of this year. And I've been doing some thinking, and I decided that the way to fill out the rest of the year as we go into these final months of this series, I thought that maybe take the things that are on the Patreon that were just exclusive to the Patreon, because once the year ends, the Patreon will be shutting down. And there's a lot of exclusive content that's on the Patreon that hasn't made it out widely released. So I thought that it would be nice to sort of piece by piece, episode by episode, release the extended cuts or the unreleased episodes of things that we'd done over the years. There was an episode we did back in 2021 when Dune came out, part 1 of Dune. Obviously, part 2 is out, and it's fantastic. We did a unreleased film rescue, which is going to be what this episode is about. And so there's a lot of things that we covered over the years that just never made it to the public because it was mainly meant to drive people to the Patreon. But once the end of the year comes around, Patreon's going to be closed down. So I don't want to lose all that content. A lot of it is fun. There was a 5-hour cut of the Batman versus Superman film rescue. My fault. Totally my fault. I was very drunk on that episode. But I don't want these things to just disappear, because once the Patreon gets shut down, all that stuff is gone. There was commentary tracks. There was one we did for Freddy Got Fingered. I'm going to upload that eventually. There's things that we wanted to get out there to the public just so that way people have it and it's on record and it still exists. I've downloaded everything that was Patreon exclusive. Some of the Patreon exclusive episodes are just like things that just have little stingers at the end, like little bits and bobs at the very end. I've taken all the ones that I thought were relevant, necessary, all the best ones. Then we're going to, episode by episode, re-upload them to the YouTube channel and make them available to the public. None of these have video to them. A lot of these were done back during 2020 and 2021. So there's no video content for this. We didn't do much with the YouTube channel at that point. We were still in the middle of lockdown. We were still figuring out how to do stuff. Some of it was done when Seth was still living in the Maryland area, and so it was all just us in one room talking to each other. And so it'll sound a little different. The audio quality in some episodes is not great. Batman vs. Superman is probably the worst offender. Again, my fault. I apologize. But all this stuff I want to keep available to everybody, and so I figured, why not just do it? I don't want to lose this stuff. Let's just release it to the public, make it available. And that way you can just enjoy it forever. So the first thing we're releasing is back in 2021, I believe, we did an episode on the film Polar, the Netflix movie that really wishes it was John Wick, but it's really bad. I think Mike watched this one night and immediately said the very next day, we have to do a film rescue on this. Thankfully, I was available. And so the next day we did a film rescue, and I absolutely hated that movie. They kept saying, we're going to do a sequel. And they never made a sequel. So, yeah, go ahead and enjoy our film rescue of Polar.
Welcome to the Film Rescue Show. We're lending a helping hand to Hollywood, fixing their failures and flub-ups in their feature films. I'm joined by our two hardiest hosts that can stomach this movie.
I hate you.
I love you.
We have Jesse and Michael on with us. Hi, guys.
I enjoyed this movie. I give it a 12 out of 10.
Wow. I can't even argue.
When you go in with no expectations because you've heard so much garbage, and then there's actually points where you're like, wow, I like that.
Yeah, sure.
What's going on?
I like that in a different movie.
No, it's like, man, that would have been a really impactful scene if this movie didn't suck balls.
Right. Yeah. We're talking about the Netflix film Polar, directed by Jonas Åkerlund.
Or whatever.
It's on our shit list. This was requested. This was
At the bottom
requested
of the
by
shit
someone
list.
who was like, "I don't have a fix. I just want to see you guys fix it." That's basically
throw it away.
It's actually pretty easy to fix movies that are absolute pieces of shit.
Yeah, I when we get to the fixing part, I know the stuff I want to keep, but I want to see if it gets shit on first before I say the stuff that I liked. Question mark.
Yeah, there's some stuff I liked.
Yeah, there are ideas in here.
There's some recasting I'm doing.
Not Mads
Specific-
Mikkelsen. Leave him. He's good.
No. I'm recasting one person.
Okay. Vanessa Hudgens.
No, she was fine.
Johnny Knoxville.
No, he's dead in 5 seconds.
I saw this movie when it first came out. My younger brother's a fan of the comics, and he was like, "Oh, they're making this movie. We got to check it out when it comes out." And within the first 5 minutes, Johnny Knoxville gets sniped and dies with a raging boner.
Jesus Christ! And they hone in on that fucking shot. And as soon as that shot came up, I think I texted you, Seth, and I went, "Oh God."
Yeah, no, literally, yeah.
God.
You sent me just like a vague, "Oh, this piece of shit," and I was like, "Is it the boner scene?"
Yep, it was the fucking boner scene, and it's just like, and the whole like disgusting introduction and terrible eye-hurting font for these fucking people, these supposedly interestingly stupid hitmen, was so over the top and stupid, and I just hated every fucking second of that scene.
And they were going for that whole like Suicide Squad style, like, oh, we're not going to actually introduce characters, we're just going to stylize their names, so you know that these are characters.
It's got goofy characters. This is awesome, isn't it?
Look at this. This is a hot chick. We've got an Asian and a Mexican. Whoa!
I want to point out the Wikipedia page lists this as neo-noir action thriller.
No, there was nothing neo or noir about this fucking thing.
And the plot is listed in 4 sentences.
Yeah, this movie is devoid of a plot.
Guy is cheap piece of shit who no want to pay pension of old man mad, old man tried to get killed, old man kill. There you go. Boom.
That's it. It's it.
That's the plot of the first book. I think it's the first book of Polar. Because there's like 4 books technically of Polar.
Well,
and they each cover different
It's still
sections.
ongoing. It's not done. It's going to keep going as long as the original writer wants to keep it going.
Man, he might not want to right now.
Did Michael Spielman just call a comic book a book?
No, he calls their arc. He calls his arcs books.
Oh.
Yeah, so each book was technically an arc. So there's technically right now, I guess, 4 arcs, and each of them is a book.
Okay.
So if you go to purchase book 1, because that's how he words it, then you're purchasing the first arc.
I also the Discord was pretty quick to point out that the year before, Mads Mikkelsen had a movie come out called Arctic. Which was actually pretty good.
Oh,
it's really good. That movie has like no budget to it and it looks amazing.
Yeah. And it was.
I really want to talk to that director and talk about that polar bear with him.
Yeah.
Like that polar bear scene. I've watched that movie several times just to see if I could figure out that fucking polar bear. I still have no idea if it's real or fake. I cannot put it in a certain. It's filmed in such a way where it might be real. Yeah, it's filmed in such a way you're like, that might be a real polar bear.
Yeah.
I like this movie.
And you'll be pleased to know that movie actually doubled its budget. It was a $2 million movie and it made $4 million.
Good.
So hopefully we'll see more from him.
Cold Castaway. That's the best way to describe that movie.
Yeah.
And
or
so good.
Or good version of The Gray.
Yeah. So
God, so
okay,
good.
let's start off the way I like to. Let's try to compliment this film.
Let it be known, I got a message about this at like 11 o'clock last night.
Yeah, you got it late.
This was a late watch for me, and I struggled to finish it.
Yeah.
This movie is like so difficult to sit through because it's the plot starts, it stops, it starts, it stops, it starts, it stops. The pacing is everywhere.
The plot? You thought there was a plot in this movie?
Yeah, there's let's clarify this. There's 90 minutes of bullshit, and then the last 30 minutes is the entirety of John Wick truncated to a half an hour.
God.
Right.
And not shot anywhere close to as good as it should have been.
No.
Nowhere near as good.
Fucking that goddamn hallway scene.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so ugly.
I know the one.
By the
thing
way,
I
worth noting, I put this into our chat last night. If you're gonna use human shields, don't use the skinny guys. Doesn't work.
right.
Yeah, use the fat ones.
Yeah, use the fat guys.
Always use fat guys as human shields.
So okay, I the one thing that I want to compliment unironically, and before we started, we were making fun of the humor of this movie. There were a couple parts that did make me laugh. Specifically, when he's in the kindergarten class talking to them about
Oh God,
death.
yes.
Oh Jesus.
Oh fuck yes.
Again,
That scene was so great.
if the humor could have had that levity across the film, fantastic. We'll get to where they try to do that same joke in a different way and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
But in that scene, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
This
that
is
was pretty fucking
goddamn
funny.
hilarious.
Why
Oh my
the
God.
hell would they allow that in the first place?
That's such a good scene. And
it-
the fucking teacher's in the back like, I should say something. I should say something. And she just lets it
It'd be great if we
happen.
had a close up on that, but no.
It's
so
absurd.
good.
I think the
It's so
absurdism is what got
stupid.
me. How about you, Spielman? What did you like? You said you actually
I
liked
have
a few
two.
things.
I have a joke one, and then I have a real one. Rubio Fee has a really nice body.
Ooh.
That was nice to look at,
Oh,
I
is that
guess.
was that the Cindy character?
Yeah, that's Cindy
The-
in
the
that
whore of the
uncomfortable
group?
scene that was way too long. And I'm like, wow, I can see pretty much, wow, she works out. Wow, she looks really great. Wow. Why is she in this film? That's my joke one. My other one is, man, Mads acts the shit out of this piece of shit.
He's good in everything. It doesn't matter what it
Holy
is. Even
shit.
even in shit movies, he's really, really good.
That's how you can tell a good actor. Are they going to phone it in movies that they know are pieces of shit, or are they still going to give it all? Mads fucking gave it everything he could. And there are legit great dialogue scenes between him and Camille that are fucking brilliant, and I love them. And then the rest of the movie happens, and I hate them.
You know, when the film
He's got those eyes that can portray either
yes.
intense anger or profound sadness.
yeah.
He's just
He
I
just
love Mads
when he
Mikkelsen.
looks really sad and lonely in that cabin, you believe it. When he looks really pissed off and angry, you believe it.
Totally.
He's got
That's
he's
basically
kind of
Death Stranding.
he's a very limited actor, I would say. It's not a guy that's gonna play like the president of the United States. Like, this is a guy that is limited in terms of what he can do, but what he can do, he does it incredibly well.
I wonder if he could do comedy. I'd be very curious to see, like,
He's
could
got
be-
that dry humor too.
He could be the
fucking
springboard
Doctor
upon which
Strange
everybody
line.
else. He could be the bouncing
Yeah.
board for everyone else.
That's
He's
true.
so stoic, like a Jason Statham. He's so kind of blank most of
Right.
the time. He's good at that corpsing face where he just doesn't have any emotion at all.
right.
Yeah, he'd be good at that.
God, I love Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
How about you, Jesse? Compliments for the film?
Ugh. I'm gonna have to dig
Gotta have
deep on
one.
this one.
You can do it.
I like the music.
Mhm.
I mean, not all of it. I think that it is used inappropriate in a lot of places. There's some very, very awkward cuts. I mean, I like the music and the end credits. That theme, Dead Mouse did the music for this. I really like their music. Mads Mikkelsen, we said that. I mean, if you cut out all of Mads Mikkelsen's scenes and just put them in order, just like together,
Yeah.
that works really, really well. It's everything else surrounding it that train wrecks the movie. So
I will say this, and this is a knock on the source material. The basis of this movie is kind of dumb. Like that whole pension thing is so fucking stupid.
it is weak.
And I was like, that's kind of stupid. And then I went looking, and I went, oh, that's really fucking stupid. That's the actual basis of that first comic series. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's dumb. I mean,
I
the
was
second
getting-
one is better. And I was like, what the fuck? That's so stupid.
I was getting vibes of the movie Red. Yeah, how the
Yeah.
CIA realizes
Yeah.
that one of their agents is an absolute monster and they need to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that if you cut out the pension stuff, it would make the movie make more sense. It could just be like a more gritty and violent version of Red.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the obvious
yeah, for
comparisons
me-
to this,
have to-
are John Wick.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, like I think
hate
this
that we
came
have
out.
to say that because it's insulting to John Wick.
Did this come out before or after John Wick 3?
2019 before
So just-
January.
So okay, so it was
Yeah,
still
just-
like we're still in the
We're still in John Wick, yeah.
we're still in John Wick era. So Yeah, it was trying to be like another version of John Wick, but it doesn't work because the source material is, not as good. The
Nowhere
world
even close to
building
it.
isn't very good either. I was very confused most of the time. Very, very, very confused.
They just got away with so much shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? John Wick
Yeah.
set rules. This
Yeah.
doesn't set shit. It just lets people fucking go, and I'm like, this is dumb. Speaking of John Wick, the sad news that came out this week was that it got delayed
pushed.
by a year.
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Well, they
it's
haven't
still
even
sad.
filmed yet. They haven't even started filming.
Yeah, because of
Script's
Matrix
not done.
4.
Script's not done. So
Because of Matrix 4, they won't start filming.
Did principal photography get finished on Matrix 4?
I think they were in
Nope.
the middle of it.
Oh shit.
Yep. That's why they also decided to just delay it, because he's doing that, so he can't do this, and then we got Corona on top of it, so they're not going to meet. They thought they could because he would wrap on Matrix June, and then they would have their script done by June, and then they could start principal in like August, September, and then they'd have it wrapped, edited, and done by May.
I feel like John Wick is also one of those things where you really don't even need to have a script done to start shooting. You can really jump into like your action set pieces first.
There's some basics done. I know that
No.
there's basic stuff done for John Wick 4 already when it comes to the script, but I think with Stahelski, he wants. You can tell he's getting tight. He's getting real tight, so I don't see anything's going to get filmed until that script is done.
Yeah.
Because like if this was John Wick 2, yeah, I could maybe see that happening, but because now we're getting to this point where everything needs to be carefully and meticulously moving, I don't see anything being done until that script is done.
Yeah.
No. And also, regulations recently got released about what the protocol for production is going to be and for future film and TV productions.
Sure.
They are so stringent in every way that
I haven't even had a
doubt
chance
any.
to read them, but I heard they're bad.
Like every movie for the next 10 years is going to look like a fucking soap opera.
Oh
Oh
god.
God,
Like,
damn it!
Like you can only work 8 hours a day. You have to have gloves and a mask on at all times. Actors need to be separated from the rest of the crew at all times unless they're shooting. Testing needs to be done on set. Like the regulations that they've tried to put forward is so insulting. And it's
I think
like
it's
you
because
can't
they're trying to
produce
fix
anything.
things.
Like here's how you do this. You wait for a fucking vaccine. You just pause everything.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't make any movies anymore like this.
No, but we need monies now. Even though we have lots of monies, we need more monies.
God.
I mean, how many of these production companies are like always on the cusp of going belly up? I know WB for like years was like, if we miss these 2 movies, we're done.
Yeah.
Sony,
Yes, Sony.
I hope
Honestly, Sony
Sony goes
Pictures?
under. I hope Sony goes under.
like let's think of how many good movies they've had that have made back their money recently, and the fact that Sony Entertainment said no, we don't want Sony Pictures. Like Sony Pictures is on its own from Sony, the company.
Yeah,
for a fucking
they're completely
reason.
separated.
Like, there's
Yeah.
a fucking reason for that, because Sony was like, oh, that's bleeding. There's where our money's been going.
Yeah.
To that fucking thing.
Well,
Yeah, let's cut out Walkman and let's cut out fucking Sony Pictures.
Your business model cannot be depend on the next thing. I mean, it's like Howard from fucking Uncut Gems. His whole business model was like, as
The
long
next
as the
thing's
next,
going to be big.
yeah, as long as
Yep.
the next one pulls off, we're good.
Pretty much it.
That was the history of Canon Films. Like,
Yeah.
look at Canon Films. When they went belly up, they dumped like millions of dollars into 3 separate productions. What was it? Masters of the Universe, Superman 4, and Over the Top.
Ooh.
And all of those films failed financially and critically, and it tanked the entire company. They were
Yeah.
like banking on those being huge hits,
Right.
and then the whole company went belly up.
Right.
Let's think about this. If they didn't have Spider-Man and honestly Jumanji right now,
Sure.
They'd be dead in the water.
Sony be fucked.
Right. Well,
because nothing else that they have. Well, I mean, there's not a new one coming, but the Robert Langdon movies, they did really well for them. But again, it's not like he's made hundreds of books that you can just keep making them for. So I mean,
And not even very good books either. They're pretty
they're
kind of
better
mediocre.
than what you give them credit for, because you are smelly doo-doo face like a dead mouse.
You don't
Yeah.
like Dead Mouse?
That hurt, didn't it?
Really?
Go
You don't
find
like
your
Dead
room.
You don't like Dead Mouse? Really? Dead Mouse?
No,
is good.
I think he's fine, but I think he's overrated.
So, I want to talk about the other John Wick link in this movie, which is probably the worst meta joke I've ever seen in my life.
Oh God.
Our main character, suffering from night terror PTSD,
Yeah.
shoots his goddamn dog in the face by
that
accident.
he just got too. That he just fucking got.
That he just got.
That's so fucking stupid.
Like
I looked down at my phone and looked up and I went, wait, did he just kill his own fucking dog?
Yup.
Yep.
And that's when my wife tapped out. She went, I'm done. This movie's stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
That was when the movie just totally turned for me. And I know we were supposed to be in positives, but fuck this movie. It's like there's almost like nothing to really discuss in terms of positives. There's like a handful of things and we're done.
Yeah. Well,
Negatives, like this movie is very mean-spirited and
Yep.
very kind of cruel and gross. Like I really felt
Not in a good way or not
Yeah,
in like
it's-
and not in a message kind of way. There's
Yeah.
no message here.
You compare it to something like Bad Boys 2, which also has a very mean-spirited streak.
Yeah.
It's very cruel. It's kind of insulting. It's nasty. It's not fun. It's not.
But Bad
fun.
Boys has at least two messages, which is drugs are bad and racism is bad too.
right.
They're the messages.
Even though
wrote by a
every black
fourth
man is
grader.
portrayed as either a drug dealer or a raging psychopath.
Right.
Listen, you guys really need to see Bad Boys for Life. So much better than that movie.
Yeah, I think, and a movie has to be bad where if I watch The Mummy 2017 right after and I go, you know what, that wasn't even
Man,
so
the
bad.
Mummy is but the thing is, the Mummy has things going for it, and then the whole movie, the whole time
If
I
you say
watched
so.
the Mummy, like the second and third time after I knew what happened with that film, I was just like, "Fucking Tom, what are you fucking doing?" I was just cussing out Tom Cruise the whole time because I know he fucked that film.
I think he's one of those guys that has it in his contract that he can't be an evil character like The Rock. Like
He's never played a villain. No,
Yeah,
he has. He played Collateral.
Yes.
He played the villain. That's right.
right.
But
And
that was like
a while back.
yeah, but that was like an exception to the rule
Right.
because he is technically the main character of the film.
Right. Yeah, I just man, the Polar why are we on this streak of mean-spirited movies? I watched Extraction the other night and then I watched
Still haven't been able to watch that thing.
oh god, I don't even want
But
to fix
again,
it.
But no. I need to fix that and 21 Bridges together because I'm pretty sure the Russo brothers might be racist. Because you said that thing about Extraction. I'm like, 21 Bridges have a lot of racist undertones
Right.
to it about black people. And I'm like, did the Russo brothers just hate black people or colored people because that's set in India, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was hard to
Jeez.
watch. He literally like murks a room of child soldiers at the beginning of the film.
Oh. Jesus.
Just
I
like-
don't know if I can watch this
Yeah,
fucking film.
hateful. Just a hateful movie. And this
My
movie's
favorite thing was, did you see what the Russo brothers tweeted about that fucking film?
No.
They posted an image of Chris Hemsworth's character from that fucking movie, and they were like, who would win in a fight? And the other image was John Wick, except they chose an image of John Wick with a pencil.
Mm.
And I went, oh, you never watched John Wick, did you, you fucking idiot? You gave him a weapon. Even if it's a pencil, he's going to kill this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason that movie got any kind of positive response right now is because there's literally nothing else coming out right now.
I also think
Everybody
someone
else
told me
is
that the
starved
action's
for
pretty
entertainment.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someone told me the action's pretty good.
It's got a car chase oneer that turns into a multi-level story shootout oneer
That sounds
it
dope.
looks in a vacuum without the rest of the movie happening. It looks fucking great until you realize he's just killing normal cops in that scene.
Yeah, he's just killing people.
Like
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Like they drop a line about, oh, we can't go to the cops. They've got cops on the take, but it's like all of them, really?
Yeah, like
God.
literally
Fucking
every cop
cool.
is evil. I don't think that's how that works.
Did they seriously just make 21 Bridges?
Yeah.
Except they're like, no, let's do Army and in India now.
Yep.
Just Chris Hemsworth. Let's take another person from Avengers and put it in there.
Yeah. Beautifully
Oh,
shot
God.
film. And
21 Bridges,
like
yeah.
Jesse says, on brand. We don't want to talk about this movie, so we'll talk about other pieces of shit.
I really
another
don't wanna talk about
another
this movie.
thing I was thinking of when I was watching this
Piece of shit.
piece of shit Polar. There's a novelist I really like called Jean-Patrick Manchette. He's a French novelist. He does a lot of crime books.
Okay.
He wrote a book called The Prone Gunman, which got adapted into a terrible Sean Penn movie called The Gunman.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's a classic Sean Penn movie.
Oh.
Needless to say, Sean Penn has terrible movies.
Taken in France, whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking bad.
Was it the first Taken
it's
in
terrible.
France?
No, the movie is basically taken in France.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the whole time, not
Yeah.
just like a piece of it.
Yeah, but anyways, like the prone gunman, which also has the title like a sniper lining up his shot. It has a very mean spirited tone to it. It's very grim. The main character is very unlikable. But he's an assassin for I can't remember which crime organization it is, but he's very cruel at times. But he's doing it because he's kind of isolated himself from society. He knows it's sort of like that's his penance for his shitty life is that he ends up alone, and eventually he gets shot in the head at the very end of the story. So he gets his comeuppance.
Sure.
Whereas in this, like, he doesn't really get any kind of comeuppance, even though he murdered everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel appropriate. Like John Wick, he's killing criminals. He's killing horrible people. It's okay. Like, whereas in this case, this guy really did kill innocent people.
Yes.
And yet,
Yeah.
and yet it treats it like it's a joke.
But the problem is that you could that's some of the good parts of this movie is there are actual parts where they are trying to make it seem like that's the purpose is that
Yeah.
he's tortured.
But then they
Because,
abandon
you know,
it, like, right away.
The fucking reveal at the end is that
Oh, fuck.
I mean, it
Can
was
we
the
talk
girl.
talk about the twist?
Yeah.
And I'm
please.
like, wow, what a
Oh.
lazy twist that everyone saw coming. Also, this whole movie now doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
At all, because that means that she knew it was him the whole whatever. Okay, anyway. But I was like, you guys really tried to stack that in there, didn't you? And
Like,
it did not.
What are
work.
the fucking odds?
So fucking dumb.
So the twist we should say is that his neighbor, his shut-in neighbor, is actually the survivor of his last hit.
Yes.
No, it's not his last hit, but it's the hit that made him start to rethink his life.
Well,
Because
it'd
he
be
was
great if they
young
made that
in that
clear.
hit.
It'd be great if they
Because
made that clear.
she was okay. Here we go. She was 9 or 13, but definitely 13. And now she is probably like 25. I think is what she said. So that was 12 years ago that hit went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
And yet, for some
fucking
reason,
60
they are now neighbors, and she knows it's him. And she says, "If I find him, If I find him, I will kill him."
I'm gonna find him. I will kill him.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's also been giving me $200,000 like every year
Yeah, and yet she lives in a fucking cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Like,
in the middle of fucking nowhere.
and also, you're
Middle
not
fucking
questioning where the
Montana.
money is coming from. Like,
Yeah.
oh Jesus Christ!
No, they lazily made her. She's like, I figured it was someone trying to have redemption or salvation.
Oh,
I'm like, that's such a
bullshit.
lazy line. Fuck off. It's so lazy.
Hey, Seth, will you do us a favor?
Yeah.
Do your pitch breakdown, please. Your plot breakdown.
Oh God.
I want to hear this.
Let me see if I can do this.
That's gonna be great. I'm already excited.
So the film opens in Grand Theft Auto 3, where Johnny Knoxville is the target of an assassination squad that is going to be important later in the movie, I promise. It is really like why are we introduced to them first?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's part of my rescue
That's
with
a legitimate
them.
question. Why are we introduced to them first?
It's part of my rescue with this movie.
Eh.
Is these fucking 5 fucking morons.
And either like these guys are a Suicide Squad type, goofy setup, or depending on which scene you're watching, they're also the Devil's Rejects and just being horrible
Devil's
to
Rejects.
normal people.
Oh.
Anyways,
Also, they're the cool, hip, sexy new assassins.
right.
Young people are cool and hip, and we got to kill the old people.
Oh God,
Jonas,
I
Jonas, you are in your 40s, man. You're not young anymore. Stop!
I just realized what this movie looks like. Gamer.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
you're
watched
right.
Gamer recently.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, don't insult Gamer.
Gamer's not good. I don't know.
It's
if
not-
it
it's
did-
but
not
I would
good,
rather
but
watch
it's-
Gamer than Polar.
But it's not like mean spirited like this is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some nasty stuff in it, I will say, but it's not as like brutally offensive like this is.
And also, there's damn good acting all throughout a fucking Gamer, and there is one person who can really act in this movie.
Yeah. Vanessa Hudgens isn't bad. She's got bad lines, but
I was actually
It's just,
shocked
oh gosh,
that she actually did pretty
it's
well.
just bad dialogue. She's not a bad actress.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
not
bad
her.
dialogue.
It's her dialogue that was bad.
right. So anyways, cut from that unrelated scene to set up villains for later. to what I assume is the Black Kaiser's last job in the hotel, where we are introduced to our very...
No, it doesn't go to there. It goes.
No,
it goes to his
the
cabin.
woman and him talking. Yeah, he's talking to the
dog
man
stuff. The
about
dog stuff is
retiring.
before that.
God, how could you forget,
Oh,
Seth?
God, Jesus Christ, I just watched this last night.
So fucking bad. It's so fucking... No, he goes and talks about his fucking retirement, and he's like, "Oh, I'm 14 days from retirement." I'm like, old black guy from a fucking 90s action movie.
Right.
I'm 14 days from retirement. All
Okay,
right, well that
Murtaugh.
guy's dead.
Okay,
Like,
Murtaugh.
all right. I'm too old for this shit, and we're moving on. He's got 8.3 or something, and they added change to make it sound funny, which that was actually supposed to be a joke, and it wasn't funny. I was like, ha, 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 ha. Shut the fuck up, movie.
Right.
I was like, it's like $8 million in pension. And I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of money.
But
And
is
then-
it, as an assassin, is that a lot of money?
I don't know.
How much is he
He
getting
also
paid
has
for
been
these
given,
jobs in
like,
general?
who the fuck knows? But he's definitely, that's just pension. He's probably got money otherwise.
Yeah.
Is he an
But
assassin
anyway-
for like a crime organization or for like a government organization? Does it make that clear?
They are a third-party contractor.
Okay.
Yeah. I figured that out because I read the comic.
it's not embedded within the content of the film.
Right.
They
Brilliant.
just keep saying the name of the fucking organization. I'm like, okay, well, what do you do? And then it's in the comic
Damocles,
where they
right?
talk about it. Yeah, Damocles, and they talk about them being third-party military. And I'm like, okay, cool. Why the fuck wasn't that just a line in this movie from fucking Matt Lucas? Fucking, I
Right.
hate him. I hate him so much. I hate him so much.
So after that conversation's
That's
where
the
we
that's
go
the
to-
big that's the what is it, the Blute, the fat guy?
Yeah, that's the fucking worst
Fuck
part of
that
this
guy.
movie.
Oh god.
That is
like-
the worst part of this movie.
Yeah, he is the worst. Is he in the book?
I don't know.
He is. He's in the comic.
Does he look like
He's
that?
in the comic. Nope.
Thank-
I mean, it's black, white, and orange. So,
well,
but I would say,
why the hell would you take
Again-
a black, white, and orange comic and make it this like overtly colorful? Like what?
it's part of my fix. Like there is a way to do this movie and do it correctly, and this is not it.
Make it animated?
No,
Okay.
I'll tell you when we get to it though.
All right,
But
all right.
You'll still like it. You'll still appreciate it.
Yeah. So continuing on from his days from retirement, the setup of the film, if you want to call it that, is that where we go to the hotel?
That's when we go to the hotel.
Right. Okay. So I
Up
just
to
forgot
Vivian or
the
whatever,
fluff in
Yeah,
there.
you forgot garbage. You forgot more trash. Yeah,
Right.
just
Yeah,
trash.
more crap.
So we
Just
see
trash on top of trash.
To say this movie has a plot is a stretch because it's really no plot for like 90 minutes. It's just scenes.
right.
Yeah.
There
So
really is no plot.
We see our and these are heavy air quotes protagonist
Heaviest here.
just murking people, and he's obviously very, very good at
No,
his job.
you're too far ahead again.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's right.
so
the,
far
the,
ahead.
the creepy sex
He
scene.
does go to a hotel. No, he does go to a hotel, but he's talking to Vivian or whatever her name is. Vivian, yeah. He's talking to Vivian about doing one last job to figure out who murdered Johnny Knoxville's character. Even though he's 14 days from retirement and he technically can't refuse, he totally fucking refuses.
I'm not going to stop for every conversation.
And yeah, this is a plot mover.
No,
Because
no, it's
then-
not.
Yes,
No,
because
it's not.
then Blute says, "Hey, I want you to be the one that does it," and he's like, "No." That's when they send a fucking oh man, I hate this fucking movie. That's when he's like, "Listen, this is the guy that did it. Just go kill him." Now we're at the hotel where he takes out the fucking fat guy.
I'm not going to stop for every conversation that happens.
That's
in
the
this
only
movie.
conversation that really meant anything. Was he was asked to do it, he said no, and then it got to a point, and he's just like, "I'll do it."
He's an assassin killing people.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yeah, and there's no reason for him to not do it, and he's like, "No, I won't do it," and then it's like a waste of time, and then he does it anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways, then the plot decides to take a little vacation, if you want to call it a plot, and if you want to call it a vacation, and we head to the Great White North, where he is living in a cabin right next to Vanessa Hudgens, weirdly kind of stalking her, but maybe not. We're not sure yet. So then he kind of incorporates himself into her life. We get the scene, the only good scene in my opinion, where he's talking to the kindergarten class about death.
Great scene. There's like 2 or 3 good scenes. The other two definitely still involve Vanessa Hudgens. The conversation they have on the swing set, that one, like that whole kindergarten, and then the conversation on the swing set's really is fine.
Yeah.
And it's because the two best actors in this movie actually tried to carry it, and then the conversation about what happened to her, and the gun scene in the forest.
Yeah.
I really liked her. It's on her, definitely not on fucking director. Her fight with trying to shoot that gun, I really like that. If only any of it made any fucking goddamn sense to the overall point of her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But my God, man, if you're
Let him continue.
I want to
keep going with the plot.
So
go on.
So intercut with this little vacation is the Devil's Rejects hunting down this our assassin, the Black Kaiser, to figure out where he's at. We get a little explanation of him working with, I guess it was a doctor that's helping him divvy up his money, that we later find out is going to Camille, and he's kind of the last chain that the team gets to, and then we get a very gratuitous sex scene.
Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes fucking long.
In the
and
middle
the
of-
funny thing is,
In the
when
middle
this
of all
movie
of this,
started,
in the middle
my
of
wife
all this,
went, "Is this a porno?" And I went,
Yeah.
"No, I would rather be watching a fucking softcore porno because at least the intention would be for me to watch someone get fucked. Instead, I'm the one getting fucked because I have to watch this movie, and then it's 10 minutes fucking long."
in the middle of all this kill team has been going around taking out. Who the hell are they killing? Like, what are they going?
Associates.
There are so one of them is like a rapist, and one of them is a really fat guy, and another.
Oh, you know what I think?
Who are these people?
It might be his Remember how I can't believe I'm going to ask you guys if you remembered anything from this film. The accountant said he had 5 homes.
Yes.
Oh, so,
I think
so. Are
he
they
went
just
to the
paying
5
to live
home.
there?
Yeah, that's my assumption. Is
Why?
that those are his 5 places? I don't fucking know. I have no fucking idea. This movie makes no fucking sense. Also, sometimes the comic doesn't make any sense either. And I'm like, wait, why the fuck are we doing this? This seems stupid. Why are we here?
Right.
People like this thing, and then I just leave.
So we get a shootout sniper scene, kind of, which leads.
There's some cool parts to that.
Yeah, I mean, so okay, it is a very rough extended sex scene.
Yes.
Where he's being sniped while he's having sex.
Yeah. Although this guy's supposed to be like really intelligent, right?
Right.
You can't tell there's something off about this.
I mean, he did. He did because he pushed her up, and she's the one who got shot. So he was.
But like,
my favorite part of this.
But you
is
know
he
that
knew
this
this
woman
whole
is probably
time.
hunting you.
Yeah.
This
He
woman's-
totally knew that's probably what this girl was, but he's like, I'm gonna get my rocks off anyway, and I'm like, all right, well that totally goes against his fucking character to begin with.
Yeah.
But sure, let's do this. Then he fucking puts her in front of the bullet, dives down. She's trying to tell the other one where he is, and then he puts a axe in her head, which was great. Then he leaves and just so happens to show up behind the other dude. But I do like this part. He's fucking butt naked.
Oh yeah.
When it's like what 10 degrees outside.
Like maybe 10 degrees outside. He fucking kills him and then lays down in the fucking snow butt naked. He's a sniper rifle.
So dumb.
So
And by the way, at this point, he knows that the organization he worked for has turned on him.
yes.
Yet he just
because
goes
that's
back home. He doesn't like
That's
go
what
on
he
the run.
figured out with the Spanish guy. Well, no, this was his hideout. This was the place this was his last vestige. This was where he was intending to go no matter what. That's why he was sending the money to Montana, because he was going to keep an eye on Camille. Again, something that was not explained. This was where he wanted to retire to, and the other 4 places were just distractions, so that way they could not find him. He didn't leave the fucking country, but this was where they weren't going to fucking find him, even though he left a fucking paper trail.
Just put the money into an offshore bank account so you can draw from it wherever.
Right.
No, man, Montana Federal Credit Union. Isn't that where you put your money?
Sure.
Jesus.
Why
This movie
not?
is so
Basically
dumb.
offshore.
God.
So after this action scene, he figures out, or had already known, unclear, that his handlers want him dead. No one actually really retires from Damocles. They just kill them off.
Yeah, because the
Why the hell would
runner,
anybody work for this company if that's the deal?
Yeah, because Blue, and it's not that it's because they don't want them telling people. It's because the main guy is a money pinching piece of shit who just wants the pension back from people who don't have significant others, because why would you in this fucking world? And I can't believe I'm fucking talking about this film. So the money would then go back to the organization. It is the dumbest thing. You're a fucking organization for killing people, and you first off, you have a pension plan, which means you have a paper trail for what you do. It's just the dumbest thing in the world. And by the way, that is the actual plot from the comic. That is not something that this person created. That's the plot of Polar, the first comic series.
Just because it was written in the book does not make it gospel.
Right.
And trust me, it ain't gospel. It's still fucking dumb. The only good thing about that first arc from Polar is the end where it reveals Camille. And then they try to, the revenge plot that then happens. Everything after the first book in that series of comics for Polar is so much better than the first arc. Because the guy just couldn't fucking create a situation where these two were together, like he was her guardian angel or something in the comic, and he had to create this asinine plot that just doesn't work to get to that point.
Right. Let me bring this thing home. So after that, he decides that he's going to have to, I guess, end things. Also, intercut through all this is the what was his name, Blut. Getting advice from his secretary that
from Vivian.
Yeah, that they shouldn't be messing with with the Black Kaiser, which is kind of a cool name. Yeah. Anyways,
I do like that name. Yeah,
so it's totally ripping off the John Wick thing of the Baba Yaga.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is from 2012. Keep this in mind. Polar is technically older.
Yeah, I agree, but still, retroactively, this has the feel of a John Wick film.
Totally.
A bad one.
It tries.
Yeah.
It's a bad one.
So
we're going to get more of these, right? We're going to get more people who try to be John Wick, and they're going to fucking fall on their asses.
Well, that's what Extraction is. Extraction is just John Wick in a war zone.
Right.
How dare you? I haven't watched this film yet. I really don't want to.
So, yeah, she's advising him to just pay the money and cut their losses, but he doesn't want to. So then the Black Kaiser goes to Detroit, Michigan, where he meets up with Richard Dreyfuss.
Obvious fucking place to go. Detroit, Michigan.
Richard Dreyfuss is not looking good, dude.
No.
God damn. His character has cancer in the fucking movie. Or, by the way, his character has cancer in this thing.
Yeah.
I actually believe Richard Dreyfuss has cancer.
He looks like
he
it.
Looked terrible.
Right.
Well, his career is basically over, so,
Yeah. Right.
Nothing else to do.
And he turns on Duncan. And Duncan is the Black Kaiser, in case I hadn't said that already. He turns on Duncan.
Vizsla, the terrible fucking name.
Yeah. And hands him over to Blut. And then it goes into a very extended, gratuitous torture scene.
Way too long.
Ugh.
Just,
way too long.
I mean, the plot takes a second vacation from its vacation to just sit in this torture scene.
Yeah, and also when they attack, they kidnap the girl.
Right.
Also.
Yeah, and they keep injecting her with heroin over and over again.
Yeah,
they try to OD her.
Right.
It's like this movie is so just mean spirited and nasty.
So terrible.
And they give him a countdown to when he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And
then, why don't you just kill him now? What difference does it make? You can
know.
Who's gonna know?
My favorite part is there's lines in this. Vivian and Blute have this conversation where Blute is like, he made it personal, and she goes, well, you killed his friend, then you're trying to kill him to then take him out of $8.3 million that he has actually deserved, and then you sent 5 people to kill him who then failed and he had to kill, and then you kidnapped someone that he cared about. Are you sure you're not the one that's making it personal? And I'm like, that's the most rational thing anyone has fucking said in this goddamn movie.
Right. Yeah. Okay, look, a pencil pusher cannot go up against the assassin in the company.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that if this guy does get out, he's probably gonna kill you.
And is this also where he loses his eye?
Yes.
Yeah.
He stabs him in the eye with a knife.
Right. So
and
then
he looks like Old Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I was like, oh shit, can we make that Metal Gear Solid movie and just cast Mads?
Perfect
in it? Like,
casting.
he was fucking,
Yeah.
fucking good.
So then on the fourth day, Blutt's about to kill Duncan, and
On the fourth day,
instead,
blood descends.
Duncan realizes that he's able to escape somehow. Plot contrivance more than anything.
It's because the knife broke.
Oh my god!
It
And he
broke off
took the
inside
knife-
of him. Like, what?
Yeah.
Is his
That
are
was
his
what
bones
I had
made
to
of
watch
rocks?
it
What?
4 times. The broken off knife was that he was slashing him with, by the way, not stabbing him with.
Right.
Broke off in him. He then took that out, and that's what he picked the lock with, because that's how you pick locks, apparently, in this fucking universe,
Right.
is with a goddamn piece of what looked like something smaller than a pocket knife blade.
Yeah. It
Pick
reminds
the
me of
lock.
the first Sin City movie where Hardigan gets out of when he's being hung from the ceiling in the motel.
Oh,
He
yeah.
breaks the window and he has the glass in between his feet to cut the rope behind. That's so
good,
fucking
though.
dumb. Like, it's not possible.
So
so
then we
great.
get what is arguably one of the better action scenes in the movie, where he just murks everybody as he escapes.
Yeah. Like I
Um,
said, if you're going to use human shields, don't use the skinny guys.
Right.
Always seemed was fine. Again, because of John Wick, it should have been a one shot.
Yeah.
Like, plain simple. That, like, there's so many movies that keep abusing. Bloodshot did this too, where it's like you have a hallway fight.
Right.
Fucking put the camera somewhere and go. Choreograph your scene and just go.
Stop
whether
cutting.
Mads is in it, whether Mads is in it or not, or it's a stunt double, just fucking go.
You know what
I
that-
don't fucking care.
You know what that hallway reminded me of? The hallway fight scene in Old Boy.
Yeah. A little
Yes.
Like, if it was shot like that, with Mads Mikkelsen doing that, just killing everybody, oh,
Oh my
God.
god, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
bit. So wrapping up, he is helped. He's bandaged up by. That wasn't Vivian, right? That was somebody else.
She's like the second in command. No, she gets killed at the warehouse.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, he randomly has another friend in this random city that can patch him up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not. Yeah.
That we have not
Vivian.
been introduced to at any point.
No.
Yeah, token black friend that he then goes to, who then patches him up and gives him some cool fucking turrets that he controls with his
Okay,
fingers.
that was cool. The
That was
laser
very cool.
guided.
Totally out of place, but it was cool.
Yeah, makes no sense, but it looked cool as shit.
Yeah.
And that's when he kills Vivian. Vivian realizes that, well, that was dumb. And I'm like, well, why the fuck were you there to begin with? Or what? Whatever. You knew that the end of Blart or whatever the fuck Dickbag's
Blood.
name is, whatever, Blastard, just fucking
So
whatever.
So then he doubles back to the place that he escaped from to kill Blood.
I do love that, because then all the guards they're like, he's back, and they're like, oh, fuck you, douchebag, and they all fucking leave. And my favorite part is one of the extras. I don't know if this was in it. He goes, he's up there. I'm like, fuck yeah, he is. Go get this piece of shit.
That was funny. So,
That was fucking hilarious.
so then he decapitates Blood,
Yep.
and rescues Camille, and
Yep.
then we get the gratuitous reveal of he was the one in his younger days that killed her parents
and brother.
and brother, and he let her go, and it's like the one good thing he ever did in his life.
Yep. And then he protected her and gave her money since then, and he's kept an eye on her, and he knew that the kill was a mistake, and that's when he knew.
It's
that
never
he wanted to
overtly
get out of that
said
business.
that he knows that
Never
that's her.
No, yeah, it's never.
Yeah,
outright
so
said.
it's like it's just random coincidence that they happen to be in the same place at the same time. The fucking odds.
and
You're in fucking Montana. Oh
and
my god.
all of that was only to set up the sequel, where she, instead of putting a bullet in his head like she's wanted to the whole movie, says, "Oh, let's go figure out who wanted to have my family killed." Cut to ugly stylized title of the film with blood on it.
This movie is not getting a fucking
on again, off
sequel.
again. It actually might,
Ugh.
because it was a Netflix movie.
I'm looking. I'm trying to find out what the budget was.
I don't think it was very high. It was like probably.
You might not.
It couldn't have been. I don't know. Anyways, that's Polar, an extended series of gratuitous violence action and sex for action and sex sake. Also, the color palette switches like 3 different times in this movie.
It's like 3 separate movies slammed together.
Yeah.
It's like what is it? It's like Bad Boys 2 or Pain and Gain smashed together with John Wick, smashed together with A History of Violence. That's what it is. It's 3 or 4 separate movies slammed together, and none of them gel properly.
And wishing that it had the sense of humor of shoot 'em up.
Yeah, wishing it had that sense of humor in that style.
Oh yeah, and it definitely did not.
The sex scene in this movie was done way better a decade before in shoot 'em up.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah, that's great.
it's meant to be a tongue-in-cheek joke, scene. It's not serious.
This felt like the fucking director had his dick out, was jerking off as he filmed these two fucking.
Every scene in this movie really feels like somebody going, "Hey, you know what would be funny?" But they're like fucked up metalheads or something. So they're like, "Wouldn't it be funny if John Wick shot his own dog? That'd be hilarious."
And it's never brought up again after that scene. It never like bothers him or anything like that.
I had a dog. It died.
Yeah, there's that. I take it back. There's one time it's brought up, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, IMDb doesn't even have its
Yeah, dog. There's
budget.
no budget listed. That's common with a lot of Netflix.
Yeah,
films.
that's true.
Yeah.
They do keep
Well,
that
I
close to the
think it
chest.
wasn't really shot for Netflix. I think it was shot with another company in mind, or independent investors, and they were going to shop it around.
Yeah.
And then Netflix picked it up. So it got bought, or I should say dumped on Netflix.
Right.
Because no one else would touch this fucking thing.
No one wanted this fucking thing.
So, yeah, that's Polar. This is it. If you want to watch like what the good version of this could have been, watch Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo.
I still haven't watched Guns Akimbo, but
It's really fun.
That sounds like great.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
So I get to watch Daniel Radcliffe be cool. I'm fucking in.
It's got the fucked up sense of humor, but in a way that it's like genuinely funny because it takes place in a world where the stuff that's happening isn't quite as fucked up.
Yeah, it's a live action video game. The
Like-
city that it even takes place in is Shrapnel City.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds fantastic.
Like Polar wants you to believe that it's set in a serious world where like dark, goofy things are happening. Whereas Guns Akimbo says, no, this is a dark, goofy world. Therefore, when fucked up things happen, you're allowed to laugh a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. I'll have to rent that.
Yeah.
That's on the rent.
Yeah, Guns Akimbo or any of the John Wick movies, Shoot 'em Up. Those are better films.
I basically play the John Wick movies in my head
Yeah.
every day, so I don't have to watch those.
Crank movies.
Crank movies, yeah. Yeah, it's just you can do dark and creepy and mean-spirited if the movie itself it knows that it's a joke.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the Crank movies get away with it because it's a joke. You're meant to laugh at all this bullshit. This it tries to take itself too seriously in certain scenes, and then it tries to be funny. Then it tries to be nasty and gross. It's like the tone of this movie shifts between. Yeah, it can't pick a tone.
Yeah.
It needs to pick one thing or the other.
Make fun of fat people, like the super obese guy from Texas.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
come on, guys.
You know,
Like, and it just doesn't work. And
I think I figured out what the issue.
Also,
with
this movie is like really like mean-spirited to women as well, which really kind of bothered
it's
me.
fair to everybody.
Oh, it's just ugh.
I think I figured out what the issue with this is. When it was being created, they just listed the scenes from recent action movies that they liked. They were like, "Oh, you remember that fucked up scene in Taken where they're giving the girls drugs and it's like
Oh, yeah.
really dark? We need to find a way to get there." Or
Pretty
remember
much.
that scene in Shoot 'em Up where he's having sex in a shootout? We need to. I
I
want that as a scene, and then they try to like I mean, I want to say string things together, but really they're like triaging different sections of different bodies into this Frankenstein product. And that's why like the opening scene with Johnny Knoxville has to look like Vice City because that's the tone of the scene, but there's no established tone of the movie. So the very next thing is they go to the Great White North, and that shot like almost black and white.
Yeah.
It's scenes for scene's sake, and that's what makes it really hard to
Things
follow.
in isolation work fine. Like I said, if you cut out all the Mads Mikkelsen stuff in Montana, great. Stitch that stuff together, that kind of works.
Yeah.
But when you try to slam that together with like the Suicide Squad tracking him down from city to city, that doesn't work.
Well,
but like he knows people are going to come for him, but he's not like paranoid about it. He's not looking over his shoulder. Like this guy's really dumb.
Explained. I don't think he expects people to come for him.
Yeah.
But it'd be great if we had that knowledge.
There's nothing explained in this fucking movie.
Nothing is explained.
It's 2 hours long of no explanation of anything.
God, explain
the one
your
thing
plot.
that they do explain doesn't make any fucking sense.
If I were going to do this story, I would take the torture scene and spread it across the whole movie and have the previous events be flashbacks while he's being tortured.
I agree.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, and also I would recast
Blut.
Bloot.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Matt Lucas to begin with. I don't find the dude funny at all.
He is not intimidating. Who's going to win in a fight? Not. Him or Mads Mikkelsen? Oh, I fucking wonder who.
I would have put Malcolm McDowell in that role.
Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
He would have fucking killed that because that's what he does. Instead, we've got a wannabe Matt Lucas who just always, in every fucking role, comes across as a whiny baby bitch.
Yeah.
In every fucking film.
He looks
all
like
you want to do is
he looks like an adult baby. Once,
because that's all he's gonna. That's all it's gonna fucking take is a half punch to this dude's face, and he's gonna start crying like a little bitch. And it's fucking annoying. This guy is supposed to run this high-powered fucking assassination organization, and he is basically no much better than a drug dealer.
Yeah. He looks like an adult baby.
He does.
He does look like an adult baby. And it's fucking, every time I see him in movies, it fucking pisses me off because he is not talented. And it's just annoying. I don't know how.
If you're going to go for this like over-the-top, absurd black humor, Johnny Knoxville as the villain might kind of work.
That would have been better.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would have liked that better. Anyone but Matt Lucas. Honestly, you could have cast any fucking buddy but Matt Lucas.
Right.
He's just not good for this villain role.
Maybe nobody else would take the role.
Likely.
Probably not. You go, who can I give $10 to and he'll be fucking happy? And Matt Lucas is already at your door. Hey, you got a role for me? Yeah, motherfucker. Get in here and be this piece of shit. Who fucking cares? I cannot fucking stand it. And then the fucking director, dude, you are 54. You made a goddamn music video for Madonna in the 90s. The 90s are dead. It is 2020. Progressiveness exists. Make a fucking movie because nothing you have made is any good.
Oh my God. Do you think
grow up?
Do you think her like manic nature has leaked into this guy? Because he's still doing music videos for her.
Yeah,
that explains everything. Then
just make music videos for Madonna.
This movie has like the editing style of a music video.
Oh yeah,
it feels like a 2-hour music video, and then except for like the Mads Mikkelsen stuff. We were talking about this prior to this. I think Mads Mikkelsen was probably tricked into this movie because his scenes are isolated from everything else.
Yeah,
you could chop out his scenes and they'd be a nice like hour-long film. Like you don't even need everything else. If you just cut those things out, the movie kind of sort of works.
The guy that edited this, his name is Doobie White, and he also edited the last Resident Evil movie.
Oh, it makes perfect fucking sense.
Oh yeah, he's perfect for that. He made the fucking fight scene that made me want to throw up because it had 85 goddamn cuts for 3 fucking punches.
Yeah. We're about an hour in. Let's take a little break, and when we come back, we're gonna try to reassemble this into something that resembles a film.
Yeah,
anything's an improvement.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy! Here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Michael's Film Whatever. Man, it sucks when we have last-minute cancellations because then we have to scramble to find something to do. I chose a bad movie, and I chose it because I love Mads Mikkelsen. But goddamn, Polar's a bad movie. So today I'm going to be a little positive. We're going to talk about good Mads Mikkelsen movies. We're not going to talk about Hannibal because you could do that for days. We'll start with Arctic. If you haven't seen Arctic, dude, the premise is basically fucking Castaway, except it's cold, and executed it a little differently, and man, is it incredibly well done. It is so low budget, and it is not what you would expect from a YouTube filmmaker. It's insane how good that movie is and how well put together it is. I recommend watching it. I recommend watching it a lot. I'd say it's like an 8 out of 10. Let's look at Casino Royale. I mean, come on. We're trying to get away from the shitty, cheesy Bond that Pierce Brosnan embodied, who I don't think could win a fight if he actually had to try and win a fight in these movies. And we get to a badass Bond in Daniel Craig. And Le Chiffre, played by Mads Mikkelsen, which was honestly one of my first introductions to Mads for me, besides King Arthur, but I didn't realize it because he was a side character. Man, does he kill it. He absolutely kills it in every aspect of that movie, and it is fun. It is fantastic. It is just an absolute treat to watch and to do. And, man, you need to see Casino Royale. It's probably one of the best Bond movies ever made. I'd say, again, 8 out of 10. It ramps up the action, and that's the thing that Bond has been missing for so long. And, all you fuckers who want to talk about GoldenEye, that movie still sucks, okay? That game is still garbage nowadays. Stop thinking just because you like old things means that you're better than anyone. You're not. You just like old, outdated garbage, and you need to get better at it. You fuck. Positive. Doctor Strange. That's probably the worst movie of the week. Shitty movie of the week is Doctor Strange. It's still a good movie. It's still fun. It's still fantastical. It's not dark enough, but that's okay. And Mads Mikkelsen is not bad as a villain that was not fleshed out enough. And you realize that Mads can actually do some comedy. Like the guy's got a good back and forth in that movie, and I feel that the movie is good on the lower scale of the Marvel movies, but it's still a good movie. And, there's not too many true bad movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe besides Dark World, Iron Man 3, and Civil War. Come at me if you really want to go there. I will fucking ruin every exact explanation you think you have about all three of those movies and why they all suck. And they all suck for pretty much the same reason. But back to Doctor Strange. Not a bad movie. Probably the worst movie on the list. Scott Adkins should not have just been some side character bullshit, but it's a 6 out of 10. Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor. He was awesome in Death Stranding. Polar is not for him, and man, you get to hear my venom because it's fucking dumb. I cannot believe that this movie exists and it's this bad. It's really this bad. But, don't cancel on us, and I won't have to watch even worse movies than what you were pitching. So just keep that in mind. Also, fuck all of you.
Welcome back to the show. We're talking about a piece of shit. I mean, Polar.
No, my section's over.
This really was a the perfect host lineup for this movie too.
Yeah, this thing is. If anybody wants to take a shit on this thing, it's me and Mike.
I think I would rather watch Escape Plan 3 again than watch Polar.
Yeah, makes sense.
Ever, Escape Plan 3, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know what? Also, I'd rather watch the Ben-Hur remake.
Oh, God. With Jai Kinnaman.
But the funny thing is, that Ben-Hur has the realistic Jesus stuff in it.
It's true.
That's the shitty part is they did the correct interactions with Jesus. It's just the rest of the movie's fucking garbage.
The old Ben-Hur is one of my dad's favorite films of all time.
It's everybody's dad's favorite movie.
It's
a movie for old people.
My dad's is one of the Ron Swanson movies.
Oh.
I'm not joking. I think it's fucking what's the bridge one? Fuck my God.
Oh, Bridge Over River Kwai.
That's it.
With,
I think that's
with
my
that
dad's
whistle
favorite.
at the beginning. I'll never get that out of my head.
Old.
All right. Here's thing one we need to fix. The retirement plan. I'm assuming this man has savings. Like this isn't like a contracted thing where you cash out at the end, right?
No, it's not. He's got money. He's been getting
Yeah,
a lot
he's
of
been
money.
sending her $200K every year since she was
And
13.
yeah, he's been sending a piece of it to her, and it's a very small piece apparently too. But yeah, just flesh out that. I want to before we even get to that, we're changing the visual look. I want a Sin City vibe, except it's going to be black, white, and orange, just like the fucking comic was.
Yep.
I like that.
Yes.
I'm just going to make it a Sin City vibe, except with black, white, and orange, which also means, Jonas, you're fucking fired. I'm putting Robert Rodriguez on this fucking film, too.
Interesting.
Because I think he could actually execute a coherent movie out of something that shouldn't be coherent. By the way, Sin City, the comic, not as coherent as that movie fucking ends up being.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why they did the extended cut in the special edition DVD. Because it's like, oh, they have all those other pieces of the story slammed into there, but they're not needed for the plot, so that's why they cut them.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your
That comic
what's your favorite part in the first Sin City? Like which story?
First one, Marv.
Yeah. Customer
Yes, Marv.
The resurgence of Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
He totally makes that movie. He was like the marketing for that film.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else like around it is fine, even though the dialogue has not held up at all, and that movie is not that movie has not aged well, but it was a good time capsule for green screen movies at the time.
Yeah. Like everybody wanted to start doing that. I remember that like a lot of movies at the time they were like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna make it look like Sin City," but nobody really went for that.
There was a game that did it too.
Yeah, it was oh god, what was it called?
Saboteur.
The hell was it called?
The Saboteur.
There was that, but there was another one that was black and white for the GameCube, I think.
The Saboteur did something really cool, and it was black, white, and red, and it's only in the parts of the city because you're trying to liberate France.
Yeah, you have to liberate the country. Yeah,
and once you liberate a portion of the city, then it gets its color back.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking great fucking style. Yeah, there's a bunch of games that did the black white thing, but I think the Saboteur did it the best, and it fits the neo noir. Just the whole aesthetic was totally Sin City and actually nailed it.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I like that Robert Rodriguez directing. Now we've got a grasp on how hateful to funny to action the movie's allowed to be.
Yeah,
And
there's going to be a lot of dialogue cut, and Mads just grunting like he's Geralt in the fucking Witcher.
Okay.
Yeah, like say less. Like the guy talks too much.
The guy does not talk like that. Like there is maybe like of a normal comic, I would say a fourth of the dialogue bubbles.
Yeah.
Of a normal comic. It's so minimalistic, and a lot of it's just told in the art style, which is probably why this movie makes no sense, because there's a lot of jumps in logic that you have to make.
What was the other recasting you said you were going to do?
I'm getting rid of that fucking Matt Lucas, and I'm putting in Malcolm McDowell.
Right. Okay, that's right.
Or Johnny Knoxville. I will do either one of them.
I'm down. I kind of want to recast Vivian too. I don't know what it was, if it was just the delivery.
Misused. She's just misused. Yeah, I think it's not her. Fuck, what's the girl's name from Death Stranding?
Which one? Leia Sado?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Leia Sado.
Oh, Leia Sado. I can never fucking remember. I'll never remember her name.
If you're doing her, I would definitely do McDowell. I think Johnny Knoxville needs like a cartoonishly stoic counterpart.
Yeah, that's what I'm
whereas
saying.
she's like
this movie
genuinely serious.
Yeah, and Polar the comic does try to take itself at least half seriously. So if I'm gonna half serious, I mean, we have Mads fucking Mikkelsen and Vanessa Hudgens acting her fucking ass off in this movie. So let me at least give them counterparts that should also do the same thing, because that's what those two are supposed to be. And I'm gonna put, Malcolm McDowell and Leah Sado in it, who, oh my god, I already just made this movie like 10 times better.
Yeah,
because I got rid of the annoying brat.
You could have Margaret Qualley in there, who was also in Death Stranding, because she's played by she's Andy McDowell's daughter, and I think that's Andy McDowell is Malcolm McDowell's niece, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that could be appropriate. I would like
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and she'd probably be cheaper than Leah. Leah's gonna be fucking
Right.
expensive.
The opening scene.
It's gone. It's gone. I'm cutting it.
Thank you.
I'll tell you this. This was a big cut for me. I could cut 20 minutes out of this thing. I'm cutting every fucking scene with those 5 morons.
Yeah.
Just cut them out of the movie. Excise them entirely.
I'm cutting them out of those portions, and the only time you're gonna fucking see them is when they are murdered by Mads.
Perfect.
If you restructure the movie with the torture being kind of the framing device, you could have them like individually be his hits across the memories that he's going back through.
You could, but I mean, I want to try to stay at least a little bit close to the comic if we do decide to make a sequel for this piece of shit in the real world. Which, God, please don't do it. And by that case, I don't want to change their characters completely. So I want to at least have them be what they are, which is they're supposed to be the new generation of assassins that Blaster thinks are the fucking best. And so he's going to send them to take him out because he thinks they're the best, including his girlfriend, which is like, oh, God. This is why Malcolm McDowell's like 80, but I would rather see Malcolm McDowell fondle a hot young girl than Matt Lucas. It was like 30 times creepier with Matt Lucas doing it.
That scene in general, just so much gratuitousness across this movie.
You just feel kind of gross watching it.
Yeah, I felt like I was a partner to the crime.
Part of the sex scene, because I eliminated them from pretty much every other part, you don't know who she is. And so maybe extend it out so that way it seems like she connected with him for something or whatever.
Yeah.
And then have the sex scene happen and then have it be the hit. Because then it adds mystery. Like they literally do the same fucking play that they did on Johnny Knoxville. Sure. And it's just like, man, you guys are lazy.
Is this
like,
the one mission you guys know how to do?
Yeah. Is that all you guys know how to do is her sucking someone's dick? And then
why
you guys
is she
kill
even
her?
there anyways? You don't why would you send like 5 assassins to kill one dude? Like you want your presence to be you don't want your presence to be known.
Right.
You're supposed to be an assassin. You're supposed to be hiding or hidden amongst the crowd. Like that's what an assassin is.
One of them was being an assassin. It was the dude with the sniper rifle.
Yeah, why not just send him? You don't need everybody else.
It was so dumb.
It takes one bullet to kill somebody.
Yeah. And it adds mystery, and you could have it be where they bring up the people that they killed, and it's just like, oh, see, look at who we had to get rid of to get to you, and then you show all these people, and he flashes to his accountant where he was talking to him or some bullshit, and then the fat guy or whatever, we had to go through all your properties to find you, that kind of bullshit. Right. Again, we just added some type of substance and dialogue. And then you show, as he's hanging there, and he's like, you know what it got us to get to you. You know what it was, and then that's when you show the savings transfer receipt.
Oh, okay.
Revealing that's how they trapped him. They knew you were in Montana because one, this is fucking dumb, and you were on this. This is where you were. We found you because we took out your accountant, and this is what we kept finding, and we knew that that's probably where you were. So I sent my best team, and then boom. Then you cut to the scene, kill, bang, and then we took her, all that stuff. Then it's just structured better because he's being tortured not within 20 minutes of torture scenes, but divvied out over an hour and 45 minutes because I just cut 15 minutes of it out. That you'll thank me later. You don't see a weird boner going down. Fucking dumb. And you can keep the funeral scene too. Or you can just have it be like, oh, he died. And, you show the bullet going in.
Right.
Something better than he's getting his dick sucked. And then you guys come up and put bullets in him. And then as you're flying away in a helicopter, we zoom in on his cock getting smaller. Right. What the fuck kind of person? And Jonas, that dude, bro, got up after he was done. Went over to his good buddies, Jason Rothwell and fucking Victor Santos, who wrote this goddamn film, and went, bro, that's fucking perfect, right? Hey, Johnny, can you get hard again? We want to shoot it again. Yeah, bro, I totally can, because Johnny just wants to make fucking movies because he wants to enjoy the rest of his goddamn life.
I think also I don't know if you want to try to make the twist work at the end, but I think the bonding between Duncan and Camille should be him kind of like Mr. Miyagiing her into becoming an assassin, like him.
I want it to be more cohesive. I want him to know that I want him to know that it's her. I want him to know it's her, and his Mr. Miyagiing is more of he knows that at the end of this, what he is trying to get her to do is take the revenge. He is not going to take the $8 million. And here's the other thing. The pension thing. Have there be a twist with the pension that it's actually set up to go to her, because then it adds this element where they're after her to begin with. So that way we have that element too, and then it's. Yeah, I knew it was you the whole time. That's why I've been training you. Instead of having her know that it's him, maybe have him know as well, because then it's like he's technically training her to be the one that kills him, because that's the only way he knows he is going to get salvation, is if she is the one that pulls the trigger.
Oh, interesting. So she's unaware.
Yep. Or you can make it that they're both aware. I don't even care. You could have them both be aware, and then she, after a couple minutes, realizes that that's what he's doing, is he is preparing her to kill him, and she maybe show his tortured side a little bit, show PTSD without him shooting a dog, but just she tries to come up on him at night, creepily through the window. You see her with malice on her face, and she sees that he is in pain in his sleep, tortured. Like you're showing her. And no dialogue scenes that this man is paying for it in a way.
If you set it up in a way that the reveal happens at the very end, and all of their dialogue previous to the end kind of has like a double entendre now.
Yes.
Like if you were to rewatch, you go, oh shit, they both knew the whole time, and they're like.
They both do the whole time.
They're kind of talking coded.
That's so much better. They were literally telling each other what they were doing the whole time without telling each other. And then when they revealed each other at the end, that's what they wanted. And then she couldn't do it. And because she realizes that he's just a tool, he's no better than the gun. He is the gun. That's all he fucking is in this world. So why don't I use this gun to find out who the fuck killed my goddamn parents?
Who wanted them killed.
Who wanted them dead. Yeah. And, it adds a better motivation. It then sets up what was the redemption arc in the Polar comic. That's it. Like, you just did, we barely did anything, and it's already 10 times better. Because we gave a shit and weren't trying to have, naked chicks on fucking scene, for way too fucking long.
Right. So you are though keeping the sex shootout. I'm
probably gonna make it smaller.
Yeah.
It's way too long, way too fucking long. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm making it like maybe like 2.
It takes a lot to get a movie to 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ!
Sure.
There's so many
like him running around naked in the woods. Hilarious.
I fucking thought it was hilarious.
That's where the
it's hilarious, but
point.
Yeah. That's something that works really well in a comic. It does not work so well in live action.
It's hilariously stupid, and it's way too over the top, and it's hard. But like now I'm trying to think of, well, okay, so then I'm gonna have him put clothes on in the middle of being shot at.
No, I think it's.
Which also
I think it's the kind. That's the kind of humor that could work in this kind of story, where like he's.
Yeah, but I think so does the nudity. I think so does him being naked in the middle of the woods. That's the thing. We're trying to pitch the same. We're trying to pitch 2 scenes that would do the same type of humor. He is putting on clothes in the middle of this shootout. To me, is just as comparative as, oh fuck it, I need to take out the sniper. I don't need any of that, and I'm gonna go do it anyway. To me, it feels like it's the same type of scene with the same type of comedy. And so you could do either fucking one, and I still think it'll be fine. Because, if we do the close on thing, it feels like shoot 'em up even more.
Well, she was unaware of the shootout during, or blissfully unaware.
Watch shoot 'em up. Fuck, I need to watch shoot 'em up again.
It's basically an R-rated Bugs Bunny movie.
Yeah, it's basically
With
just Bugs
carrots and
Bunny.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember to eat your vegetables.
Okay. And Clive Owen is so fucking perfect.
He gets.
I will say the skydiving sequence is probably the best sequence in the whole movie.
Oh man, that's towards the end, right?
Yeah, when he jumps out of the plane and he's killing guys on the way down.
Right. Yeah.
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 Logically, it makes no sense, but it's so much fun.
By the way, we're talking about shoot 'em up, not Polar.
Yes.
None of that cool shit happens in Polar.
Go watch Shoot 'Em Up. Don't watch Polar.
For
Don't
real.
Watch this.
Go watch Shoot 'em Up. Go watch Guns Akimbo. Go watch Shoot 'em Up. Go watch Crank and Crank High Voltage. Go watch John Wick chapters 1 through 3. If you're listening to this and you haven't watched John Wick chapters 1 through 3, you really should because we fucking reference them a shit ton.
True. Jesse, what's some stuff you'd like to see improved upon in this kind of story?
Honestly, if I was gonna do this movie, I would just make it more about him living in that cabin.
Yeah.
Like just him trying to live a normal life. Like I compared this to A History of Violence, the David Cronenberg film.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
also ironically based on a comic. Although the movie is totally different from the book, but make it more like that, where it's about a guy just trying to live out, a normal life.
Yeah.
But he has a very traumatic past. And keep everything. Don't show the things he did. Just hint at it. That makes it more terrifying.
That happens with John Wick a lot.
Yeah, like they
just
always
talk
talk about like, oh, he did really, really, really horrible things, but you don't see it.
A pencil.
Yeah, it makes it more terrifying when you don't see it.
Right.
Yeah, your imagination is allowed to run wild because you don't see the things he did.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you just
Before
show
the
it,
first bullet
it kind of
was shot-
diminishes it.
Before the first bullet was shot in the first John Wick movie, they had already built up his character to be the most terrifying motherfucker on the goddamn
Right.
planet.
Yeah, first action scene of the movie doesn't happen until like a half hour into the film.
No. Yeah.
Yep. And then they're just talking about him, talking about the pencil scene, talking about the boogeyman. No, he's the one you sent to kill the boogeyman. You're like, oh fuck. You're like, all right. And then boom, first action scene, he fucking kills a hit squad of like 12 people, and you're like, yep, this motherfucker is the baddest dude on the
And
planet.
up to that point, the world building is very naturalistic until the cop shows up for the noise complaint, and he gives.
You working again? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Now you're going.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. There's a piece to this that I'm missing.
And
Yeah.
and then it just like careens to the end of the film where you're like, oh shit, there's a whole other world here. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And the cool thing is, when you watch John Wick chapters 1, 2, and 3, you also realize that there are rules in the world that are not even that there are some that are not even talked
Right.
about, and like some of them are just rules of engagements around like civilians, and also how many people are actually civilians in this world.
Right.
It's crazy
Are
execution.
there any civilians in the John Wick universe? I'm almost.
It doesn't feel like it.
No.
I think John Wick 2 kind of proved that.
All right, here you go. Here's how I'll tell you. Watch the way they engage in firefights around actual civilians. They do not take risky shots, and they do not expose their shots overly when they are actually around civilians, because they are trying to not hit civilians, because that is against the rules. If you watch the first John Wick specifically, in that club scene, a lot of his shots are up close. He does not fire with civilians running around from long range. He gets up close. So he is following the rules. And if you watch the common fight in the second one, it's the same way. They don't expose themselves to the general public. They're taking shots that are safe and out of range for fucking civilians.
Well, not
And
in
then
John
when
Wick
they're-
2 when he's in that when he's underground and him and what is it,
Yes,
Common
but
are
they're
shooting
all
each other.
involved. They are all involved. That's the thing. The only part where they are part of that, they're not in the area where the rules might be different, is the subway.
Yeah,
There are
that's
actually
what I'm talking about.
civilians
The
in the
subway, when it's like when Common is up on the top level and John Wick is down at the bottom, and they're very
They're
quietly
not
shooting each other.
exposing it. They're not
Yeah.
exposing it. They're shooting silently and they're taking shots. It's more like that scene felt like they were just testing each other, and they weren't meant to hit each other. They were just testing and hitting the pillars on purpose. Because if you gotta watch it. It feels so. Oh God, there's movies. This is why movies like Polar suck.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, because other people did it better.
I cannot wait for the fourth or fifth, whatever they decide to end the John Wick series on, when Ruby Rose and Common and all the,
Return?
when they all come back, and it's gonna be like,
Yeah.
hey, you know those video games that like you think you're at the end and there's like 5 mini bosses before a final boss.
And it's just a repeat of the previous bosses.
Yeah.
Done twice as hard. Twice as hard.
It's going to be either that or it's going to be the most anime thing in the world where it's like, oh, these people used to be your enemies. Now they're your friends. And you guys are taking on the real enemy.
Also, I could see that happening. I could totally see
And
that
I'm okay
happening.
with any of it. I'm okay with it. Just fucking give it to me. Give me more John Wick because they're fucking brilliant.
Just make, what's his name? Who's the guy that plays Kylo Ren? Adam Driver. Make him John Wick's brother.
Ooh,
Actually be really good.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm into that.
Yeah,
Totally.
His brother sits at the high table. Yeah, and then he has to kill his brother.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
His ambitious
There's a
younger
personal
brother.
reason for him to keep fighting.
Chad Stahelski, in my head, you always listen to this podcast because we fucking love you on this fucking podcast to begin with.
We hate
So,
David
there
Lynch.
you go.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck you, David. What's your fucking problem?
Why are all your
Fuck
movies
your
so
Hobbs and
ugly?
Shaw. God.
Chad, we love you. You know what? I can't complain about David Lynch yet unless he ruins the Division movie. Then David Lynch, you can go fuck yourself.
He's doing the Division movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Let's hope he doesn't fuck it up.
I have bad news for you, Michael.
He's probably gonna fuck it up.
If what Jesse said earlier is true, and that's how they're going to have to shoot that movie. Although I can,
Uh-huh.
Well, no, that movie's already
is it
done.
done?
No,
Yeah, that one's done.
it's done? No, can't be.
Yeah, it was in production. It's done.
I was going to say masks are kind of part of the plot in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that we were talking about the Division. They can work masks into the whole fucking movie. We're talking about the movie about viruses. You actually wear a mask in the game, so they're just working in. I think this one will be fine.
Interesting.
This one I'm not worried about at all.
We'll see.
I'm not worried about the Division.
When
it comes to that, I'm worried about them executing correctly.
back to Polar.
Yeah.
Back to this piece of shit.
Earlier I was talking about how the color palette of this film is either all over the place or
Disgusting.
just egregious in general.
My 9-year-old could do a better job at fucking at doing a color palette in a movie. It's disgusting.
If we're restructuring it around the torture scene, basically just like re-editing the timeline more than anything, what if you establish when things are happening by the color palette?
That's fine. Where like the current is black, white, and orange, or do you want the past to be black, white, and orange?
Yeah, I think the current would be
maybe not that much, but more like just muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is in the cabin stuff we currently have.
Yeah.
It's very muted compared to the rest of the movie. Maybe just keep that the color tone.
And then the oranges
Yeah, it's
pop.
so gregarious with some of its color, and then it's so disgusting with a lot of it too.
Yeah, I think just regardless of which way you do it, just kind of establishing what timeline we're looking at by the color palette, because then visually you don't even have to say that we've jumped back in time when because obviously if we're in his memories, we're jumping back in time.
It symbolizes it with
Exactly.
the color.
So you don't ever have to expressly say it. You just say, oh, well, now it's more colorful or less colorful, so we know that we're in a memory or in the current timeline. I think that would help it a lot, which is the opposite of what I said on 6 Underground, which is like straighten out the timeline.
Yeah.
I told you I think I can make that into a coherent movie, right?
Jesus.
Good luck.
I'm not joking. I have to watch it. Probably another 2 or 3 times to make sure I have everything I want right.
Why would you subject yourself to such torture?
I think I can fucking make it coherent. So now I just have to put it to a point where I want to watch 6 Underground 2 or 3 more times. That's the other part of it. I have to get to that point. Maybe after I watch Extraction tonight and I want something that actually makes me chuckle a little bit because I love Ryan Reynolds, maybe I'll watch 6 Underground 1.
Jesus. If you can explain why fucking what's his name? The younger
Dave Franco?
Dave Franco, there you go. Thank you. If you can explain why he just appears in the plot according to the timeline
and then just disappears.
He gets stabbed by the forklift. Come on.
That's it.
Yeah. And then he's not in the rest of the... You're like, wait a minute, you went back. Shouldn't he be there?
But
Wait
it's
a minute.
worse because not only does he just appear in the timeline, but the plot of the movie is his character's being replaced by the new guy But the new guy's there for the
I have
setup
to
of the mission and for the payoff, but not for the middle mission where Dave Franco dies to be replaced by him.
Yeah, I have to write. The big reason why is I need to put a line on a piece of paper and be like, all right, where the fuck does everything happen in this movie?
That's again when I was trying to re-edit the timeline, it doesn't actually work.
What's worse, Polar or Six Underground?
6 Underground.
Polar at least got to an end. Yeah, because Polar at least got somewhere. Six Underground is the most confusing mess, and the only reason why I think people enjoyed it is because the cast was so funny.
I did have an idea for how to fix it after putting that episode out on Patreon. Ryan Reynolds not only invented the magnet technology, but he also invented time travel. But the characters don't know that they're in like the 60th loop of him trying to fix things. And that's what you reveal at the end of the movie, which is why characters just pop in and out. It's contrived, but it makes the movie make sense.
I was just going to repair the fucking plot holes, make Six Underground the actual name of the clandestine organization that he sets up with like the UN or some bullshit, and that they do it with the UN because the UN has some sort of fucking power to make them disappear as new people, and then they can live again in some bullshit. I don't know. Six Underground is a trash film, and I would rather watch fucking Polar again.
The real fix is just make it a Just Cause movie and use the plot of one of those games instead.
Yeah.
Just make it like, hey, we got to start a revolution in this country, and that's what we have to do, and we're gonna go there, or we're gonna do that, and we're fucking Rico Rodriguez doing it because that's the name of the dude. God in heaven. Jesus Christ.
I just realized something. A lot of these movies that get shoved onto Netflix are absolute garbage. Maybe like 5% of them are actually legitimately good. We could I know you want to mine Sony for a lot of their garbage to fix stuff, but I think that Netflix really has more of the dumpster for us to pull from.
Yeah.
The difference is that Netflix
they have entire shows. Like, what is that show that Katie Sackhoff is in? What is it? Another Life?
Something
that,
like that
awful fucking show.
We can just But the biggest thing is that Netflix, it doesn't. Okay, so this is why Universal is going to end up winning this fight with Regal and AMC, because they can dump a bad movie to Netflix and make their profit back easily, quickly, and Netflix didn't pay, $600 million or $60 million or $80 million and then have publishing rights. They don't need to worry about publishing afterwards. It's going right up on their platform. So it's an instant return. Yeah, that's what I meant. It's an instant return on fucking money. They don't have to pay for a bunch of bullshit that other companies had to pay for. They don't have to pay to put it in theaters. They don't have to pay for digital distribution. It's their digital distribution. They don't have to fucking worry about it. So they, it's a $20 million budget movie. Add-ons, it's maybe 25, 30, because a lot of your marketing is done on Netflix, and only your big ones actually get real ads, and so that doesn't cost you much. And then you have no distribution charges because it's on your fucking platform already. So boom, it's all money.
Well, the other reason they're going to win is they own a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Yep. I mean, just watch Disney. Watch what's going to happen this summer when Artemis Fowl comes out in June on Disney Plus, and I promise you, they're going to be like, holy shit, we can do the sequel. It's going to happen. Look at what happened with fucking Trolls. That it makes me laugh because everyone's like, why didn't they just wait? I'm like, because they knew that this new Trolls wasn't getting anywhere close to the traction it was that the first one got, because no one asked for a fucking sequel. It was already looking at not making it anywhere close to as much money. The fact that the coronavirus forced them to not be able to release it, and then they were like, fuck it, we'll just use the excuse that it was coming out anyway, put it on this fucking digital platform, and then boom, they made so much fucking money. They made the same amount of money they made from the first Trolls, which was like $500 million in, what was it, a month? It's like, holy shit. Like, this is the problem with a lot of theaters, is they take such a big cut. And if you cut out that middleman, you can make profit very quickly.
I've said multiple times, I would prefer if theaters just died. I'm just tired.
I think some of them should.
I don't want to
think-
go
I
to the
think-
movies
I think
anymore.
the franchise ones. I think the corporate run Regal and AMC should die. But then you got your smaller ones that don't have those ridiculous pricings.
I'd be
They're
fine.
like, hey, we'll take 20%. It's like, wow, that's reasonable.
Yeah,
Most of these fuckers want 50%.
Yeah.
Are you fucking joking? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, keep the art house theaters open, but close down like all the big shit.
You close Regal, you close AMC.
think-
What's the other one?
I
Cinemark.
hate going to theaters and having like there's always a screaming baby or there's always an audience that never shuts up. You can hear people shoving popcorn into their face. I
live in the
fucking
country. I don't
hate
have
all
these
of it.
problems.
I can't stand it. Like
I live in Hagerstown. I go to Leitersburg. I don't have these fucking problems.
and now we think about like with how disgusting, how quickly this virus has spread across the entire world. Like, how gross are all those seats at every single one of those theaters? How often is that shit cleaned?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
very
go. No, I will gladly pay a little extra money to just watch it in my house on a streaming service.
It's like the example is right before I rented Bloodshot, paying the $20. Me and Alicia were going to see that in theaters anyway. And it's like, it's $20 for us to watch it here at home. It was going to cost us $20 for the tickets on a matinee showing. And then with popcorn and everything, we would have spent $40+ to see this movie. We just cut our cost in half, and the money goes almost straight to the distributor. So if they do have a Bloodshot 2 that they wanted to do, and it actually, it's like, oh, wow, we actually made money because of this. They can actually do it now because they cut out the theater. Like, yeah, Trolls isn't the best example because I don't fucking want another Trolls. I don't fucking care about Trolls. But like, look at The Hunt. The Hunt apparently did really good when they did the digital release. Sonic exploded even more on digital. So these two movies, specifically The Hunt, deserve to do well because it's actually not a terrible movie. And it's nice to see that in this corona-filled landscape that there is an optimism, and there's going to be some changes coming to the entertainment platform. And I mean, if we look at video games, Square Enix just released Final Fantasy VII Remake, and in 3 days it sold 3.5 million copies during a goddamn pandemic. Holy shit. First off, people are fucking gaming because numbers are up hard right now.
Have you seen that report from what is it? It was the WHO that said that video games are a hazard to your health, and now they're saying no, please stay in, play video games all day long.
Hey,
There's nothing else to do.
We were just joking. Play video
Life
games.
comes at you fast.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a change in the landscape, and I think Disney specifically is going to change a ton because they're going to have these movies like Artemis Fowl where they're going to be like, so what do you think? I don't know. It might make back its money. Okay, put it right on Disney Plus because it's going to prove itself. I'm telling you, everyone's going to be fucking watching Artemis Fowl in June. I'm going to fucking watch it. Everyone who has it's going to be like, yeah, sure. They have enough subscribers that they're going to have enough people watch it. It's going to get enough traction. They're going to make back their money easily from it. And they're like, all right, cool. Let's make a fucking sequel and put it directly on Disney Plus. We have a Disney Plus movie series now, and it's Artemis Fowl because that thing has like 12 books. Boom. I think this is going to cause a change in landscape. And, Netflix has been preaching this for fucking years. Hulu has been dragging its ass with its garbage. Amazon, I don't know what you do when it comes to
it's really good.
That's not theirs. That's FXX. That's not Hulu's movie. It's not a Hulu original.
Oh yeah, you're
Hulu
right.
originals are
How about original movies?
Right. You're right.
I think Prime has some, and I can't fucking remember of the one. Oh, Brittany Runs a Marathon.
Oh.
That's a great one that Prime has. I think these guys have been preaching digital release. Watch us make you fucking money, please. And I think now we're going to start seeing Universal. Oh boy. They're going to make a deal with someone. Someone's going to get a deal with Universal, and then everyone's fucked.
Did you see how quickly Amazon Prime updated their a mobile app to allow casting of rentals?
Yup.
That was like
No time whatsoever.
overnight, because it used to be you could only cast the Prime originals from the app, and then it was like overnight. Nope, you can rent from the app. I promise. It's all good now, guys.
They immediately were like, "Oh fuck, we got to do this because we're gonna lose money if we don't."
100%, because I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna get up to get my remote if I can do it from my phone.
it's gonna change the movie industry a shit ton because a lot of people are gonna ask, do we need a fucking movie theater? And it's gonna honestly happen. And I think we're gonna see a lot of middle movies that might maybe not make its money go right to streaming. Go right on there, and it just gets a little bit more marketing budget because now you have 50%. You have a lot more fucking money that you can work with because you're not sharing profits with a fucking cinema, and you can go, all right, let's put a little bit more in the marketing side, like, hey, rent it now on blah, or watch it on Netflix or Hulu. Or
a good thing I just thought about. The entire Academy, for all their awards, gonna have to change all of their rulings on how they judge things because they always say has to be in theaters, has to be shot on film, has to have these particular criteria to meet expectations for our nominations. They have to change all that now. Because most of these movies are going to be shot digitally, and they're going to be shot, for streaming services. Like this, you're gonna have to just get rid of the Academy altogether. Like it's outdated. Like theaters, they're gonna go away. They're gonna have to.
There is a new way to do this, and if you look at theaters like Alamo,
I love the fact that we've just given up on Polar. We're just like, fuck this movie. I don't fucking care.
I'll circle back.
Listen, don't fucking watch Polar. It's a garbage movie. Just know that cinema is about to change, and it's why movies like Polar, which is a garbage film, and if Netflix didn't exist and Polar released, Polar makes no money.
No.
Yeah, this movie would have tanked hard at the box office.
Polar's a great example of why we need logistical, logical thinkers who have a little creative flair to get into script supervising. We need
more creativity in script supervisors because most of them are very matter of fact.
We need people to understand, hey, I'm going to go for like a broken timeline, switching around between different characters and things to be able to go, okay, cool. Now that I have that in mind, your movie breaks here. Dave Franco just appears according to this timeline when you lay it out straight. So fix that. We need those people. They're so important. They're so very important. Like, Mike, think about how much time we invested into making sure the table for the gambling game in our short film was laid out correctly, scene to scene, because we were shooting out of order.
Exactly. I mean, the script supervisor is one of the. I've told this to anyone. A script supervisor is the one who keeps your movie from being confusing. The problem is there's a lot of big ego directors, Michael Bay, who don't listen to the script supervisor, and that's the other part of the problem. Is the script supervisor does not have enough power, and they should. They should have enough power where they can be like, "Hey, asshole, this isn't right. You need to fix it."
They're the people on the set that always get gray hair first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just listening to the Scrubs podcast and the Office podcast and them talking about they actually listen to their script supervisor. No shit. That's why you didn't have too many continuity errors, if any at all, because your script supervisor was on point and would bring up references. Hey, actually in episode 6 of the first season, we did this, and this. So if we do it here in season fucking 4, we are going to break it then. Oh shit, we can't do that. That's your script supervisor. Yeah. That's what they do. They pay attention to all of it.
Okay. It's Patreon content time.
Yeah.
Patreon content time.
This is our new segment that we're calling Elevator Pitches, where we take the pitcher. I don't like that term. We'll find a better term, I promise. We take whoever's pitching for the episode and make them give an elevator pitch based on some criteria. Mike, I don't know if you've been on for one of these yet, but you're going to be the one.
Yeah, I did one.
You're going to be the one pitching. So basically, I'm going to take some information from you, and I'm going to build you a film, and then you have to give me the elevator pitch of what that film would be. Okay?
Sure.
So we're going to start with your director, and we get that from your birth month. What month were you born in?
August.
You get Greta Gerwig.
Wait, I already did this.
Nice.
Yeah, you're doing it again because you're pitching again.
I'm gonna fucking
also,
pitch this. Fine.
According to the timeline of Film Rescue, you haven't done this because the Doom episode isn't going out until we redo it.
Shit. Yeah, we got to fix that now. Thanks, Mike.
I gotta fucking fix that. Thanks, Audacity.
All right, so you get Greta Gerwig. Your birth date.
16.
So you get Denzel Washington as your lead.
Yep.
And then your eye color.
That's Sam
Yep,
Rockwell.
brown for Sam Rockwell. And then this is one that switches constantly. They're a great pairing, especially under her. What percent is your phone on right now?
71%.
You get sci-fi.
There you go.
Man, damn it, that's the one thing I didn't want for Greta Gerwig.
Moon 2.
Sure. Yeah, we're gonna make Moon 2 starring Denzel Washington and Sam Rockwell or whatever.
So Denzel discovers old Sam Rockwell clones.
You know it. That's how I feel about that. Fuck, I didn't get sci. No, let's go with. We're gonna make like a cyberpunk movie, and we're gonna have Denzel Washington trying to figure out who killed Sam Rockwell. It's gonna be like Altered Carbon. That's how lazy I'm gonna fucking be. Where Sam Rockwell gets murdered, but his clone is there, and he's like, "I'm gonna help you solve my murder."
Interesting.
And there you go.
That's a backdoor sequel to Moon, but you have like the clones come back to Earth.
Yeah.
And the original Sam Bell is now dead, and now they have to track down and find out who killed him.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay.
Boom.
There's your movie.
That's like there's like 75 different fucking sci-fi things that I know have done that plot. Altered Carbon did it too, the TV show. And I'm like,
it's Blade Runner as well. It's it's also
great
Blade Runner.
fucking plot. It just but it works though.
Yeah.
Like you just mentioned 3 things where it fucking works.
See, with Greta Gerwig doing sci-fi, I'd like to see her do like a Her type movie where the science fiction really takes a back seat to the characters and the evolution that they're going on.
I want to see her do hardcore
Really?
sci-fi. I'm bored by Greta Gerwig because she's done the same fucking shit. And so I want to see her stretch her creativity when it comes to movies because I love her. Her movies are great, but they're all the same fucking film. And I would like for her to do something that isn't her same bullshit that she's used to, except it's sci-fi now. So like, I want her to do Moon 2.
Yeah.
With meets altered Moon. That's what we'll call it.
Altered Moon. What was the canonical non-sequel to Moon? What was the next movie? Oh, Mute. Mute. That's right.
Terrible fucking movie.
You know what's a bad movie? Mute.
Yeah, Mute's fucking garbage.
I wanted so much.
All these amazing actors in that movie, and every one of them is fucking trash.
They had no fucking
I wanted
script
so
to
much
deal
to
with.
like that movie. I really wanted to.
Duncan Jones has one good movie under his belt, and it's Moon.
I fell asleep watching
Warcraft
Mute.
is not as bad as everyone said it was.
I like Warcraft. I forgot that he did Warcraft.
So did everybody else.
Yep. Well, not the.
Well,
I
except
was
for the
gonna say, not
Chinese.
Made a
overseas.
fuck ton of money.
Yeah. So to sum up, your polar pitch is Robert Rodriguez is now directing. We've replaced the villain with Malcolm McDowell. We're kind of restructuring it so that the torture scene isn't just an extended thing to put off the third act, but now kind of functions as our framing device for the film. Made some switches to who knows what as far as who killed whom, so that the twist doesn't come out of fucking nowhere, or also telegraphs it.
And make no fucking sense
How did this movie telegraph the ending, but also pull it out of its ass? Like the whole movie's going, I'm about to pull this out of my ass.
The editor, Doobie White, somehow gave the character premonition powers.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah. We've excised the boner comedy.
Yeah, all that's gone.
Also, the dog killing is gone.
Yeah, none of that, please.
Gone.
Is that in the comic?
Focusing more on the sad aspect of no, it's not. Focusing more on the sad aspect of his PTSD instead of whatever the fuck that was. That I don't know too many people that have PTSD to get that violent. I'm also going to be honest. As someone who has PTSD, I don't get that violent when I have a problem. I usually just sit there and my brain is racing and I'm sweating profusely, and you can tell.
This is movie PTSD, not realistic PTSD.
Yeah, movie PTSD always pisses me off.
Yeah. I said last night in our chat that the way I would have done this would be just do a history of violence again, but do it with like an assassin living out the last days of his life. Because he says in the beginning of this movie, his doctor says, are you smoking? And he says, no, I quit. Then cut to him outside smoking. He's like, he knows he's got cancer. and then he's living out the last days of his life, and it's all about him. Just have him live out the last of his life, and he just befriends his neighbor.
They just dropped that plot line too. That was like,
yeah. It just drops, just abandons it. It's like, have it be like the guy is drinking and smoking profusely because he knows he's gonna die soon. So he's just trying to make amends for all the last like 30 years of murder he's committed. And it's basically like the movie Shane.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a build up to the last like half hour.
Totally.
Where then assassins show up to try to kill him. And you could have them work for his organization, or just have him be some random assassination team that's just like pissed that he killed, some major, corporate tycoon or something like that, some like 20 years ago.
Oh, sure.
Just have it be some random event that takes him out of the game.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for Polar. Thank you both for jumping on here a little last minute so we can fill the schedule. And that's one off the shit list. So look at us go.
Oh my God.
We're taking another one off the shit list tomorrow when we talk about The Mummy. I'm very excited to watch the group chat tonight.
Oh, fuck.
I should.
Who do we have tomorrow? It's you, me, Brandon, and Aaron.
And Byron is the one pitching.
And Byron. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Byron has 3 fucking pitches for that movie. By the way,
I thought it was gonna be a challenge episode where we were just gonna say like fuck this movie, and we were just gonna like pitch better Dark Universe films.
That's gonna be the Patreon section. We're all gonna pitch our own Dark Universe film that would have spun off from this, but improved the series. And no one's allowed to redo the Invisible Man. That one.
Yeah, that's.
I was just doing Dracula.
Can't touch the Invisible Man.
Yeah. I'm gonna canonize that. So if you'd like to join us while we shit on movies and or also praise them sometimes, as we are able to, not as often, you can be on the show. We are open to any and all guests. If you send a pitch and pick your movie to @FilmRescue on Twitter or filmrescueshow@gmail.com, just send in your stuff, pick your movie. It could be a sentence. It could be a script. We're willing to work with anyone, and even if you think you have like part of a fix, we'll help you figure out the rest. You don't have to have everything. Part of the fun of this is the writer's room aspect. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/MontresorMedia. I know last season I promised I was going to be updating it. I'm updating it.
Yeah.
Every single episode comes out now with Patreon content that you can get access to for $1. It may range from 10 uncut minutes of us doing our elevator pitch segment to maybe 2 full extra hours of content, depending on the episode.
BVS, yeah.
If checking that out helps us, and it helps us help you, because we're a third of the way to being able to rent a office space, coronavirus pending. You can help us get there for $1. We have other levels that you can buy in at, depending on how much you like the show, I guess. But for $1, you get access to the entire back catalog. That's everything back through season 3 with all of its uncut content. We have some extra episodes that never aired. We might start doing those again, like Patreon-only episodes, but we'll see how that goes, depending on my editing schedule.
You guys want to fix a Serbian film?
Oh, God!
You want to fix Siberia with Keanu Reeves?
Oh!
Once we're able to actually interact in the same room, another Patreon thing is going to be our Drunk Tank reviews, where we watch movies together and don't fix them. We just shit on them.
Yeah.
Shit all over them.
You guys haven't done one of those in a while.
No, we haven't.
It's been a while. I miss it.
I do too.
We can do them on here. We can just watch a movie on
mainly just me and my wife shitting on them at home.
Is there a way to queue the movie up so it's happening at the same time for all of us? Because that's the.
Yeah, you can do that. Netflix has that ability of watch party.
Oh.
Yeah, Netflix has watch party, so we have to make sure it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Or
we could just have everybody rent the movie and then just say press play now.
Yeah. So the issue with that is
we could just do that
for me later.
There's nothing stopping us from doing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass for you, because then I'd have to have the mic near me. I'd have to move my laptop out to my fucking living room.
The The logistics of it, I'm still trying to figure out if we're able to do it, but hopefully we won't be separated for much longer. Maybe another.
Well,
they say it's going till September.
FDA just fast approved a treatment method, and AstraZeneca is starting a vaccine study in June with hopes to distribute a vaccine by the end of the year. That math doesn't add up for me, but sure.
No, it takes a while to develop a vaccine.
No, it takes a while.
Yeah, like 18 months, but they're like, yeah, we can distribute it by December. I'm like, wait a minute, that math isn't right. What do you mean by December of 2021, right?
Although,
what do you mean?
Well, every country is like in panic mode right now, so they're dumping all their budgets into finding a vaccine.
Right.
Except for America, though.
If we can get a treatment method,
it's a method after you've already got it to cut down the recovery time.
Right.
It's not a vaccine or antibodies. It's a
virus.
It's just to get you to recover faster.
FYI, you are going to get it. It's a virus, but the problem is, again, to all you idiots out there who think that this quarantine means nothing, a virus means that you are going to get it no matter what. The thing about quarantine is that means instead of everyone getting it at the same time and everyone being overloaded and not being able to do it, therefore the death count fucking jumps by like 10 times the number, we can slowly let that number get filtered through and then develop a set treatment path so that way the turnaround time is 5 days instead of recovery time of maybe 20 days and the risk of you getting exposed to it again, which is what we're at now. So all you fucking morons who don't think that quarantine is a good thing need to understand the basics of it. I had to argue with a doctor about this. A fucking doctor wasn't getting that everyone understands that everyone gets viruses, but to overwhelm the ER system, the hospital system, with millions of people at one time is not fucking smart.
I think another thing to keep in...
But I want a haircut.
I think...
I want a haircut too. I don't give a fuck.
Shave your fucking head, you pussies.
I'm just growing my hair out. I'm starting to look like Seth when he looked like homosexual 4.
I'm going to shave my head again, get my full Lex Luthor going.
I also like to point out, so Contagion was like the #1 movie on Netflix and Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which, like, I get it. You know, people want to watch and be scared and have a little fun with it, I'm sure, and also get a little information. But one of the plot points of that movie is that the government suppressed the ability for other, like, vaccine manufacturers to work on a cure. So they tied their own hands off to, like, one lab, which is why it took 2 years in the movie for them to fix everything. We all know the virus exists, and they're not going to keep that research away from everyone. We'll find something faster.
Yeah, there's like 6-7 different organizations that I'm aware of that are currently working on vaccines.
In that film, it only reflects America mostly. Right. It's basically like America did that, but it doesn't show the rest of the world. Right. So other countries probably got the vaccine faster, and given the fact that the entire administration we're under right now doesn't give a fuck about its people, I'm pretty sure that local and state governments will just bypass everything to get a vaccine.
Did you hear what Governor Hogan did?
Yes, he's hiding the vaccine. He's hiding those testing kits from the fucking government so the National Guard doesn't take them. I don't like Hogan. I don't like Hogan's policies very much, but he's handled this very fucking well. Yeah,
Hogan's a champ right now.
Yeah, I just good on him, man. I you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that I think that he's not that great as a politician, I would vote for him again.
Hey,
I think he's handled this crisis well. I don't think he's that great as a politician.
I think sometimes crises are what bring out the best in people when they're not ordinarily the best. Thankful for that.
I think it's showing with him specifically, but you know, if we just talk politics for a little bit, so someone's going to shit on us on Twitter. We're going to get one of the SJWs attacking you again, Jesse.
We haven't seen Incel Guy recently. I haven't heard anything about BVS yet.
He may have listened to all 5 hours and you changed his mind and that made him want to kill himself. Who knows?
I don't know.
Well, we didn't have any new. Well, I guess no. All the new Patreons I knew, or patrons I knew who they were. Thankful.
Say those fucking names then.
Oh yeah, I guess I should list all of our new Patreons, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Our new patrons.
I threw in $1 just so I could hear the 6 Undergrad episode because I wanted to hear you have a fucking meltdown.
I'm not giving you $1.
I did have a time with that. for sure.
I'm worth $1, but I'm not giving you
Thanks.
$1.
Appreciate that. New patrons. Byron has joined as a patron. Byron is now a new patron. Jesse has joined. Brendan Agnew is a new patron. Thank you, Brendan. I'm not sure who that is.
Brendan, thank you.
And Billy Mays III is now a $1 patron.
Yeah, we gotta get Billy back on. We gotta get him to do another.
Oh,
episode.
Totally. Yeah, I'll reach out. Chris Chipman.
Yeah.
Chris Chipman's now a patron. Look at that. Look at us grow.
All right.
Look at us grow. Yeah.
Wow.
You
The growth, like Johnny Knoxville's boner in Polar.
Yep. You could join our Patreon family for $1 and get access to all the stuff that we just talked about. I want to end this episode. Guys, thanks for watching Polar with me. I'm sorry, but thank you.
God damn, dude. At least we knocked one off the shit list.
Yes. That'll be 2
Right.
by the end of the weekend.
Hey, I'll take these pieces of shit anytime. Like I told Seth, if we lose someone because they just can't, come on, you can easily fix shitty movies. You can fucking easily fix these pieces of shit with like no fucking prep time.
We just proved it. We all had ideas on how to fix it. I think that's gonna do it for us today. Tune in next time for The Mummy 2017 with Tom Cruise. In the meantime, thank you, Michael, for joining. And thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
And thank
Happy
you,
to
Jesse,
be
for
here.
jumping on.
Glad to be here.
That's gonna do it for the Film Rescue crew. Good night.
Fuck you, Michael.
Clappity clap clap clappity clap clap. You know what's funny is I was looking at the comic and it's black, white, and orange.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's it. I was like,
very
why the
little dialogue. It's very very visual.
The fuck did we not take this? What the fuck is good?
Ooh.
Why is this movie
And
not
also-
animated?
What was that font size? What was that font style of all that fucking writing? Made me want to punch them in the face.
Don't know.
Hurt my eyes.
In the movie or in the book?
No, in the movie.
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, the book's just Comic Sans.
The comics were great,
Yeah.
but phew,